Well, I've got to admit, it's actually a lovely morning. Obviously there's snow everywhere, which helps. It's always going to lighten my mood. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad for -10, apparently. There's a little bit of snow still falling, but the sun's coming out. I think it's a great day for exploring, really. So let's check out the city. Look, I found a Mini. A Mini in London. The true home away from home. Alright, cool. So we're pretty much downtown now. I've made it to Victoria Park, which is the biggest park in the centre of town. And it's a lovely spot. Really nice. This is kind of the more historic downtown bit. I was just reading a sign. It says a lot of it dates back to the 19th century, which seems twee to a Brit like myself, but that's pretty much as old as it gets in Canada. So, very nice area. There's a nice big church over there. I'm going to check that out. And I'm just going to wander around the park and see what we can find. So this tank's name is Holy Roller, that's its nickname, and most amazingly this tank actually saw action on D-Day. It's here as a memorial to all the people that served in the campaign in World War II, so that's really cool, really nice sight. These funky snowmen characters are cool. And they're here watching the ice skating rink. There's another one behind me, and behind that there's a school group that have just come here for what I assume would be PE. They're doing ice skating. It just seems incredible. What a change in culture. So behind me now we've got Peter's Basilica, which is the cathedral for London. So this is a cathedral city, and it's a lovely, lovely church. It looks far older than it probably is. It's got the old neo-Gothic thing going on. Really nice place. I'm going to have to check it out inside at some point. I've found my first Farhi building. So, for the uninitiated, Farhi is a bit of a pantomime villain in London. What he does is he's a property developer, quote-unquote developer, who buys up buildings, charges extortionate rent, and then leaves them empty. And he owns something stupid like 70-odd buildings in this city. But this one's actually occupied, which is remarkable. But yeah, there's one. If you look over the road, there's another one, Farhi. He owns half of this city, and he's basically the Scrooge of London. So, hello, Mr. Farhi. I'm up in your city now, spreading the goodwill and cheer. Bloody Farhi again. Okay, so emerging from the steam behind me is the Museum of London. I've got nothing better to do, so let's go check it out.
5 minutes later.
Okay, slight spanner in the works. They open at 12 o'clock noon and it's currently mid-morning, so I'd be having to hang around for a good hour and a half to even get in there. But I mean, on the bright side, I've met this dude, my friend the Rhino. Poor guy's covered in snow. So Budweiser Gardens is a kind of multi-entertainment venue kind of place. They do sports, they do live shows. I'm most interested in the ice hockey. I'm going to be seeing the London Knights at some point when I go there. Having seen in the window, the friggin' Doobie Brothers are playing there in July. If I'm still around, I'm definitely going to check them out. We're going to check out London, Ontario's very own Covent Garden Market, which came recommended by the lady at the museum when she said that I should kill 2 hours by doing something else. Okay, cool. It's a very similar setup to St. Lawrence in Toronto, but it's impressive that a town of London's size has something like this. This is huge. It might even be bigger than St. Lawrence Market, and I assure you it smells amazing as well. And look, there's the maple syrup store, just to let you know you're in somewhere where the tourist is supposed to go. It's a fascinating space. You come up here to the top deck, and as well as being able to look down on the market from up here, there's a couple of rehearsal halls and small theatres that local groups will put shows on. We've got the Art Fiddler Rehearsal Hall behind us, And just behind us here, we've got the Street Family Theatre, home of the original Kids Theatre, and the Tin Man. Check it out, London, Ontario has bendy buses, just like the old London used to have. There we go. Bendy bus! So there's a bar behind me. It's called Holy Diver, and it has an Iron Maiden pinball table. That's somewhere I'm going to have to check out, for sure. Holy Diver, man. Hope Dio's behind the bar. The ghost of Dio. Well, yeah, I've been wandering around downtown London for the past hour or so now, and it's really nice. The only downside of it, as I said, is that this Farhi knobhead and all the buildings here. Other than that, it's been nice. This is exactly what I think of when I think of a classic vaporwave style mall. We've got a big plaza, we've got fountains, we've got palm leaves and plants. This is aesthetic. This is really aesthetic. That one's for Nick. There's an Arby's here. If it wasn't 11 in the morning, I'd have a burger for you right now, but it must wait. So I was just at Grooves Records down here on Dundas Street. Really cool place, talking to a guy at the counter called Bob, telling him about my future funk and stuff, and he's telling me they've got a lot of funk and soul. More importantly, I bought my first tape, bit of George Benson. It'd be rude not to. Just $1, bargain. Better work. I found a ice hockey card on the floor. I've never heard of Tommy Giggles, but you're the first in my collection. Tommy Giggles, my boy. Or is it Wingles? I don't know. Looks like a cool dude. Ice hockey, Canada. So that's a downtown core done. My verdict, it's nicer than people say it is. And I've got some craft dinner to have as well. Oh God. Well, behind me is the Thames River. That is London, Ontario's Thames River. Yes, they even have their own Thames. This Thames Valley Parkway is a lovely place to come and walk. There's nobody down here at all. I mean, I would say that the city itself was pretty quiet this morning anyway. It's a path that follows the course of the Thames River for miles and miles through the city. I like this place a lot so far. Very nice city. And, you know, for some reason it's really exciting to see some Canada geese in Canada. I don't know if they're actually called Canada geese here. Hey there, dude. How you doing? They're all going to come and ask me for food here. I'm sorry guys, I don't have any unless you want some craft dinner. I doubt it. Oh, we got some ducks as well. First time I could say in this country. Hey up me duck. Welcome to Canada. So, continuing the running theme of London, Ontario's own versions of things we have back in the big London, we're now on Blackfriars Bridge, which is a lovely old structure. They say it was built in the late 19th century and it's one of the oldest in the province. But again, beautiful views of the Thames River and the Parkway. Another nice place. And just like that, we find ourselves in another quiet residential neighbourhood. It's surprising just how quickly it turns from city centre to suburbs in this place, really. It feels like I'm back in a little village again now. It's nice. Okay, so I just had my first experience of the public transit in London, which comes with a bit of a reputation, and I should have done my research. It's $3 a go to ride anywhere in the city pretty much, which is reasonable, but you need to have exact change. I only had $10, so the guy kicked me off the bus at the next stop. and he told me he was doing me a favour by taking me there. I'm going to have a good relationship with the buses here, I'm fairly sure. So we've been through a lot this morning, we've seen a lot of things, we've had some tricky moments, but one thing has got us through it. The great taste of Charleston Chew. So one thing that London's notorious for is its trains that cut straight through the middle of town. Now personally, I think it's awesome, but then I come with the caveat of being a nerd who likes trains. For people that actually live here on a long-term basis and want to drive places, having a train line cutting straight through town and holding up traffic like every couple of hours gets really annoying. Still, I'm going to enjoy watching the trains come through town because for the most part I don't have anywhere to be yet. Okay, we're going to try this again, catching the bus, and this time I've come prepared. Try and tell me I can't ride now, you bastards.
5 minutes later.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. About 5 minutes ago, I videoed my handful of change, saying the bus drivers won't get me now. I got on the bus. Where the hell's it gone? I've managed to lose the change. And the bus driver did not take too kindly to that, but luckily the small amount of change I had in my pocket he managed to let me ride for. I got a death stare from him the entire way here, but oh my god, man, I need to just get a big nest egg of cash in my hand at all time if I'm going to be riding the buses out here. Or I could just, you know, get a push bike and not deal with this shit. Anyway, let's go see that house. Man, what a journey. Not going to lie, this name seems incredibly ironic at this point. Oh, for God's sake, I just went to put my hand in my little like breast pocket. I found all the change that I was going to use on the bus. So, accidentally, I've completely gamed the system there and pretty much had a free ride. To London Transit, I'm sincerely sorry for basically getting a free bus ride. But I will pay double next time, I promise. Shit! Squirrel, 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 squirrel.
20 minutes later.
Well, it's got to be said, that was a very positive first viewing of a house. I think I might even bite the bullet and just go for it, you know. It seems to be perfect. It runs until June, which gives me time to think about whether I want to stay here or move back to Toronto. And Darlan seems like a really nice guy as well. It seems like it could be a perfect setup for me. And the area around me is great. Like literally just across from the apartment is a liquor store, which is exactly what I need. So I mentioned to Darlan during the house viewing that I like to cook Asian food, and he told me to come down to this bodega because they've got a big Chinese supermarket here. But it's actually got more than that. There's a cafe there that seems to have some sort of karaoke. My god, this place is amazing. It's got literally everything. Fresh fruit, vegetables, you name it, seafood, like all with an Asian flavour. Chinese, Japanese, Korean, you name it. Look at it, man. It's huge. I've never been in an Asian supermarket this big in my life. And there's one just down the corner from the house that I just looked at. I think I'm already being sold on this place. Okay, it took a few tries, but I'm finally getting the hang of riding the buses. I'm just going to always remember to have change with me if I'm going to do it. Which means a few trips to Tim Hortons. We'll sort it out. Okay, so I'm now walking to a casino for some dinner, which is a bit of a strange one. I'm used to having done it in Las Vegas, but I wasn't expecting for my first social outing in London, Ontario to be at a casino. But I'm meeting Tin and the guys from the Hermit Huddle, who I've been talking to online. A chance to socialise, make some new friends. And then afterwards, one of his friends has a spare ticket to the London Knights ice hockey game. I was telling you about them earlier. As it turns out, I might be going to a game on this very first full day in the city. Right then, we're up on King Street, or at least we were. We're now in an absolutely massive parking lot, and I'm going to have to watch my step here because it's very slippery. I have no idea what they do here. Aha! I know. I've just seen the casino. It's just up here. But I'm guessing there are other things that people do here. Either that or gambling just must be really popular because this parking lot is absolutely huge. It's about as big as the whole downtown area. But anyway, let's go meet the guys and get ourselves some shrimp or whatever.
1 hour later.
Okay, we queued for the rib for God knows how long. It's really dark in here, but whatever.
I think they do still have a bay there. They also have one in White Oaks.
Okay, we'll try this again. So, Kurs has very kindly given me a ticket to go and see the London Knights play ice hockey today. So it was my very first Canadian ice hockey game. Let's see how it shapes up. And thank you, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
Very kind. I'm drinking Rolling Rock. We made it.
Yay!
We made it. Bring on the game.
Tonight, we are here to honor Patrick Kane and put that number 88 into the rafters here at Budweiser Gardens.
So just to explain what's going on here, there's a guy called Patrick Kane down there who went on to do some massive things. He won the Stanley Cup 3 times, and they're retiring his shirt tonight in honour of his achievements. So Canadian it hurts. I love it. I love it. Glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on thy glory. Hey! Woo! What do you think the score's going to be then?
I'm hoping at least like 3-0 for us.
3-0, okay. So if they score from this play, then you're already wrong.
I'm just going to be devastated.
3 o'clock, Team White. That's it, man. Make sure there's a number on the back. I need a roster out. I don't want.
Place.
Try to win money thing.
Just for like maybe 30 minutes.
there somewhere. That's what we like to see. There's 2 seconds left. The game's won. Let's see some blood. Gotta love it. Canada, eh? Go on! Do it! Hey! Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! That's what we came to see. Hey! Woo-hoo-hoo! So, call it a night. We'll keep exploring London tomorrow. Peace. Peace.